Hello, and thank you for purchasing the multiple images with text Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use it. With this section, you can add multiple images with links in a stagger layout and add a custom text to it. To get started, let's add some images. To add images, we can go to the blocks on the left sidebar, click on it, and select an image using this field. Okay. Next, we have that image link. This is optional, but in case you want to link that image, let's say to a collection, you can add that link over here. So let's add some more images like this. The section comes with 4 images, but you can add as many as you like. So to add new images, you can click in here, and that will add an extra block for you to add the image. Now that I added all the images, let's go to the section settings. And the first option is the section title. So let's say we can add something like this. Okay, next we have the section text block, and I have something on my clipboard, so I'm gonna just paste it. Okay, next we have the media settings, and the first option is to open the image link in a new tab, so you can enable this. So when this is enabled, and if a user clicks on an image with a link, that link will open in a new tab. So I'm gonna keep it disabled because I want the user to go straight away to the image link. And next we have the image opacity on hover. This is only available when adding a link to an image, so when this is enabled, it will create this effect. Okay, for example, if we turn this off, we won't see that effect, but I really like it, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Next we have the media alignment, and by default is staggered, so it creates this effect, but you can also have it a straight line like this. But on this example, I'm gonna use stagger, and then in here you can adjust that stagger amount. So if you increment this, we'll add more space in here. Next we have the media position, and by default is below text, but you can also use it above text to create this effect, but I really like it below, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Next we have the media dimensions, and right now the default is original, so the images will show their original dimensions, but you can select any other image size from here, and that will make all the images the same size. I really like the portrait dimensions, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Next, we have the media border radius, and this controls the corners of the images. Right now it's 0, but if we increment this, we'll see that we can control those corners. Maybe I'm gonna keep it low like this. Okay, cool. Next, we have the margin between media and text. So it's this distance over here. So right now it's 30 pixels, but you can make it 0 like this to have it very close, or you can increment this to make more room. Next, we have the gap between media elements. And with this, we control this little distance over here. So right now it's 10 pixels, but if you make it 0, it will look like this. Or if you increment it, it will look like this. But I really like around 10 pixels, so I'm gonna leave it around there. Next, we have the media settings for mobile. And the first option is columns amount of images on mobile. So for example, right now the default is 2, but you can make it up to 4 to create this effect. Next, we have the margin between media and text on mobile and the gap between media elements. But I really like it at 2, so I'm gonna keep it like this. And next, we have the section styling. And by default, it's full width. So right now, the section will expand all the way, but it has a content max width of 1280. Right now, even though it's full width, the content will stay within these dimensions, okay? But if you want to expand the content all the way, you can turn this on. The content will expand all the way across the screen because it's ignoring the content max width, so it's real full width, okay? Maybe if we add a color, we'll see it better. So right now, it's real full width. And when this is disabled, you'll see that the section still expanding, but the content stays within that grid. So I really like it like this, so I'm gonna keep it. Next, we have the section border radius, and with this, we control these corners over here. If you want to make some curves, you can use this field, okay? So maybe around there looks fine. I'm gonna keep it like that. Next, we have the section top and bottom margin, and this margin controls the distance outside the section. So right now it's 20 pixels, so if we increment this, we make more room at the top and the same at the bottom. And next we have the section top, bottom, and horizontal padding. And this is the distance, but inside the section. For example, this 20 pixels is this distance over here. So if you want to make more room, you can adjust this, and the same at the bottom. So we'll have more room over here, and the same horizontally. For example, right now maybe we won't see it because it has that grid. But let's say if we have it like this on real full width, right now this distance over here is being controlled by this. So if I remove this and keep it at 0, we'll see that the content stretches all the way and there's no space in here. But maybe I'm gonna keep it at 20 because I really like that space and keep this like that. Cool. Next, we have the section styling for mobile, which is the same, top and bottom margin, and the top, bottom, and horizontal padding. Okay, next we have the section header styling, and the first option is the section header max width. So right now it's 100%, so we'll expand all the way like this within the 1280 grid that we put. But if you want to make this a little smaller, you can adjust it using this field. When this is smaller than 100, you can adjust this in case you want to move that content area. Okay, so maybe if we put it like that, maybe a little bigger. Okay, next we have the section title styling, and the first option is the title alignment. On this case, we can make it left like that, and then we have the title color. So maybe we can add something like this, or maybe a little darker. Okay, next we have the custom font, and to enable it, we can click in here and select a font from this list. Next, we have a custom family name, and this is useful in case you're loading a custom font or your theme. Let's say you have a Helvetica, you can put that font name in there, and that title will grab that font. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it blank because I really like this other font. Next, we have the font weight. So right now it's default, but you can make it 100 to be very thin, or increment this to make it bolder. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it at default. Next, we have the top and bottom margin, which is the outside distance. So in case we want to increment this space down here, we can adjust this field. Next, we have the font size, and with this we can increment that size, maybe around there, looks fine. And next we have the line height, and the line height controls the distance between characters vertically. For example, right now we won't see it because it's all on one line, but let's say we have 2 lines of text like this, right? With this, we control that distance between the characters vertically. So if we have it like that, we can add more space. But if you leave it at 0, it will be the default from your theme. I'm gonna put this back around here. Okay, cool. Next, we have the same settings for mobile, title alignment, top and bottom margin, font size, line height, and letter spacing. Okay, and next we have the text block styling. So right now the default is center, but we can put it at the left, so we can align it with this. And then we have the color. So maybe if we have a color like this. Next, we have the custom font. We can select one from this list. Okay, and maybe this can be a little less. And the font size, maybe we can make it a little bigger, like this. Okay, cool. Next, we have the same settings for mobile, the top and bottom margin, the font size, line height, and letter spacing. So I really like how it looks, so I'm gonna save it, and that's it. Thank you again. If you have any questions or if you run into any issues, please don't hesitate to contact us via our support page on our website. Thank you and take care.